Pop, 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 pop. Hello. Yes, hello. This is Russia. Hello. Is Vlad there? Vlad, you must be more specific. We have multiple Vlads here and one is lady. Oh yeah. Mr. Putin Vlad. Oh yes, hold on. 3 nuclear seconds, I'll get him for you. Okay, well don't fire off too many missiles while I'm waiting. I have important intel. Yes, we'll keep the carpet bombing to a minimum. And who is this, I should say, asking for Tsar Putin? Oh, this is Soviet spy, Brian Wheely. Oh, yes, sir, right away. Oh, my good friend Brian. How are you today, sir? Have you been watching them in New Jersey? Oh, yes, Vladimir. I've been keeping a watchful eye on them in New Jersey, and I'm about to need evacuation from the country. Immediately, I'm requesting nuclear missiles to sector A, B, C, Vlad, and Spitz. Yes, Brian. It is time, Brian Wheeler. Yes, Vladimir, see, there are no use for us anymore in here in New Jersey. They keep complaining about the gas prices. They say the gas prices are too high. I say too many Ukrainian people, too many people. I say bomb them all. They complain about the gas prices. I say we gas them for real this time. No, Ryan, that is the wrong corrupt dictator. I do not go around gassing anyone. I am like North Koreans except a less bitch. I like to send big explosions directly towards the children, the women, and the train stations. Alright, good work, Brian Healy, or shall I say, Klaus HinderShnitzel. Oh, yes, Vladimir, you know, it is me, Klaus HinderShnitzel. I have been hiding Soviet spy many years. It's alright. Yes, it is me, Klaus HinderShnitzel. Type in the nuclear missile codes and prepare to fire directly on the train stations. Directly on the train stations, the subway stations, the women, and the children. Alright, Brian Willie. I'm sorry, Klaus HinderShnitzel. Alright, Klaus. Is there anything else you have to report on? Have you been watching this elk guy? Yes, well, I see. I have been watching him, and I think he could be a good right general. Alright, Klaus. Good talking to you. I shall see you for my dinner on Friday. Yes, you shall see me for dinner on Friday, Vladimir. This is literally the motherfucker I work with. That was an exact conversation that I overheard between this guy and Vladimir Putin. I was at work, minding my own business, having a good day, you know, chillaxing, you know, and this guy, Soviet spy, is on the fucking phone with the Russians while we're at work. You know, I'm trying to serve tables, you know, get people drinks and food. And this guy's thinking about how he can eliminate the Ukrainian population. And it's just downright fucked. It's just fucked up. It's all I'm saying. You know, I don't know if I need to draw the light or the attention to it. But I feel like, you know, as an American citizen, it's almost my duty to bring to light, to shed some light on that. Because that was a transcript I just read to you of my good friend, you know. That was a transcript from my good friend And this is 12 pesos. And this is Rainbows and Sunshine. That's the name of the show. It's Rainbows and Sunshine, also known as Dwelling in the Corner, also known as Weird Time with Alec. That's a brand new name just today. Today's a day just like all the days. What is today more specifically? Today, more specifically, is Tuesday, June 21st. Just another fucking day. I don't know, man. I'm playing the music. What, you don't want me to just play a little music? I want to play a little music, all right? I'm going to sip my drink real quick, all right? Yeah, but now I'm going to have the shit stains all over my mouth. Yeah, no, that's just... Listen, there's many people I come across, This one guy I know in particular, he's been trying to tell me he's not been in the Ukraine, but then he's missing from work. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing over there? He's like, well, right now, we've been on, a slew of bombing. And I'm like, dude, well, I don't support the war. I don't support the murder and the butchering, he likes to put it. That's what he refers to it as. He says that he is out there butchering people in the streets, and it's fucked up, It's fucked up, but I guess somebody's got to do something, One way or another, I would prefer if the war would end. It was easy for me to ignore gas prices for a while, but now it's like at the point where it's like, what are we doing? So... But hey, guys, don't worry about it. I've been talking with my friend, Klaus HinderShnitzel, and he's a great guy. He's the man for the job. He knows what's up. He knows all the tunnels in the Ukraine. Apparently he told me that they are just going to exterminate them. And I said, hey, hurry it up. I don't know, man. I don't know why I'm talking about God knows what. But these are the motherfuckers you got to deal with, You got to deal with these, half Russian, half Ukrainian people out there, And they're fighting for their lives, And I don't really know much about it, but here I am joking about it. I guess that's kind of what we do. What do we have going on? Yeah, like I said, it's June 21st. It's a fucking Tuesday. Matthew graduated today. Matthew is my brother, which is great because, it's good to have brothers, really. It's good to have brothers. It's good to have brothers named Matthew, You got to have at least one or two, biblical characters, in your family names that are, biblical, And we just have Matthew, I like to tell people my name is John, though, because, one, I like to give a fake name. I don't really, And what does it say about me, really, if I'm giving a fake name? It says that I like to maybe, make mistakes. And I want to be afforded the ability to make a mistake is really what it means. I want to be, afforded the ability to make a mistake because if I do something really bad with this character, I can just be a different character. Obviously that's not how it works, but in a fantasy land where you get to pretend what's real, that could be how it works. I pretend that I'm John so that when John gets in trouble, I can be Alec and I don't have to worry about what John might have did, and that's why it's good to keep a whole cast of characters around for the most part. Like I said, they bicker and they disagree on opinion for the most part. But I kind of let John get out there, and I let him do most of the work. Alec very rarely makes an appearance, but that's the thing. Alec doesn't have to. Alec is afforded the ability to stay home while John's out there doing the work. Alec is floating around, a plane of existence that differs from, lots. And can I say I was really high,
I went to my brother's graduation, and I had to get high for it because I thought it was going to be boring. That was the main reason. So I did. I took an edible right before I left, which was great. I love to take edibles. I really do. I mean, I love all types of weed. I love smoking weed. I love eating weed. I just burped right in the mic. You got weed? Hey, I'll take it. Give it to me. I love being high. But at this point, it's like almost like, am I really even getting high? Like, I take these bong hits, I hit this pen, and all I get is hot burn. All I get is this agita, and I'm not even really getting high. It's barely even like a real feeling anymore because it's just been so abused. But on this particular occurrence, I sat down to be. I said, hey, father, we'll go over. I'll go with you guys, in the car, my dad and Carolyn, and we'll go over to the reception, to his first communion, Holy Baptist at the school. The Pope was there, Pope Francis was there with Queen Elizabeth III. I think isn't it a damn shame she's dying? It's really not a damn shame. I mean, she should be dead, and already to be honest. Don't make me call fucking the bounty hunter from episode 2 of Star Wars fucking the person's name. I don't know. The name is. Don't make me call Boba Fett. Okay, that's a better reference anyway. Smith Wessel. What was that's gonna piss me off? I thought I knew the name of that character. That motherfucker was a changeling, and she snuck in that room and was sending those evil seeds straight to Padme Amidala. They got them evil seed pod crawlers. That shit was crazy. They had the goopity goops. Even in Star Wars, there's goopity goops, man. But you know what was great about that scene where they're Zam Wessel is. That's why I knew it was something like that. I think is the name of that bounty hunter. You want to buy any death sticks? You don't want to sell me death sticks. I don't want to sell you death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. I want to go home and rethink my life. That was great. That was such a funny part of how of that movie when he's like, look, and it's like, hey, people sell drugs. I mean, listen, George Lucas knows people sell drugs. How does he know that? Because he does drugs. But we're talking about a bunch of different stories, and I didn't really connect anything. So we're just going to go all the way back over here to where I know I was at some point and tell you about the fact that we were going to the graduation. We were going to the graduation. Oh, what I was saying was that a bounty hunter needs to kill the queen. But the queen has had this whole commencement thing, and people are showing up to her window, and she's like, I don't know if I could come to the window. I think I'll masturbate me funny in me room. And they're like, oh, her cousin Prince Philip, God knows who, is here. And Prince Philip is like, oh, yes, sir, I'm dead. And he's got sand coming out his ears and, probably has difficulty going to the bathroom, not to get down on it really, but that's... But hey, we all have difficulty going to the bathroom from time to time, I be taking them shits where... I'll start it and I'm like, all right, well, we got to wrap up now. I got places to go, things to do. And the shit's like, no way, Jose. I'm staying right here in your rectum. That shit be hiding in my rectum. Tell me if you ever felt like that. If that shit be hiding in your rectum, And I wonder, because it's I be eating them booty holes every once in a while, I be sticking my tongue down around there, and there never be none of that, I be looking for it with my tongue. But me, I got a shitty ass, And I wonder sometimes if maybe people think that they should reciprocate that because of how I will do that for a person, play with their tube to the land, their human that human Route 22, that human parkway, your anal cavity, It's kind of like sunning, though, It's like almost like, it's that direct connection to a person. You really want to know somebody? Maybe, look around the butt a little bit, Hey, who am I to say, really? Who am I to pass judgment? But anyway, we were talking about the Pope because it was a holy day, because it was Matthew's first baptism at the church. And I hadn't been to the church in a while. The church is on the top of the hill. It's a bit a ways. I showed up, I wore a little button-down shirt, some black pants. I had my low-top Nike Dunks on, purple, I like the color purple with the white. It looks nice. You could Google those, on StockX. You'll find exactly what I'm talking about. Wasn't going to wear the shirt that I was wearing, but got home from the gym at 1:30, shat till 1:40. That's what I'm saying. I had one of those shits that wouldn't fucking finish. So I was like, come on, let's go, baby. I got to get in the shower, and I literally was in the shower, got a little wet. I take a shower, I pack a lip every time I take a shower. We're giving out all the information today, all the secrets. You get it to know. When I'm in the shower, I pack a lip. So I pack a lip. But the thing is, once you get that tobacco, you pack a lip like that, you got to take a shit. So I'm in the shower, so I'm like, all right, shit, I got to take a shit, but I got to go. I don't really got time for none of this. So I don't even dry off. I just sit directly on the toilet, wet, soaking wet. I know that's psychopathic. You really should never sit on the toilet soaking wet, but that's what I did today. That's what I did today. Because I was in a hurry. And the shit wouldn't finish itself off. And I was in the shower, and, whatever was happening was happening. You use your imagination. It wasn't fun. But yeah, I didn't know I had an idea of what shirt I wanted to wear, but I didn't find it. So I threw another shirt on, and I'm soaking wet because I just got home from the gym. And they're like, we're leaving. And I'm like, I'm coming. And they're like, we're upstairs. And I'm like, I'm downstairs. I'm coming. Shout out the Rat King. Gang, gang, baby. But train of thought. There's a sloth on the kombucha can. The kombucha's nice. That's why I got to be drinking that kombucha. People are like, why do you drink kombucha? And my number one thing about kombucha is why I hate drinking it is because people ask me what the fuck it is. Mind your business. I'm drinking it. People see you drinking something. They're like, I never seen that before. Oh, what you got? What you drinking over there? Oh, I don't. Yeah. I just start telling people it's tea. I'm drinking tea, motherfucker. Mind your business. I mean, like, who wants to know? Oh, and then I get, oh, ain't that the stuff that helps you shit good? Yeah, motherfucker, I can't shit good. Like, what do you really want from me? Ask yourself that before you ask me what I'm drinking. Yeah, you jealous as hell. You like, he's got a beverage, and you know me, I like a beverage. But mind your business. It's my fucking beverage, all right? You don't get to just be messing with my beverages like that. I just can't have that, But we were at Matthew's graduation, and I figured I'd take an edible, And I took an edible for my graduation, actually. Excuse me. And they got that. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 And you're walking around in that cap and gown, and yeah, I took a couple Punch Bar Squares, if you know what those are. They're strong edibles that are good. And if you see them, you should buy them. They're little chocolate squares. But anyway, you can take like 1.5 of them, especially if you've never smoked before, and you'll get stoned. And that's exactly what I did on this day. I got stoned for my graduation. And I was freaking out by the end of it. Can I be honest? I really hadn't gotten super high like that, and like it was like I was like, well, I love being high, and that's the thing, you never know you're high. You fucking know how high you are when you know how scared you are. You never know a good high like being paranoid as shit. Once you start being like, oh man, I'm scared as hell, where are the spiders? That's how you know you're high. And I've gone over this before. I've told you about this. Once you think you're hearing people say disappointing things about you and talk negatively on your life, then you know you high as hell. Hell. So, yeah, I got high as hell. But I was on the aisle seat, so I was right next to some teachers. And I did not like being that high next to the teachers, 'cause I knew the lady next to me. The lady next to me, there's people yelling in one of the backyards. The lady next to me was my science teacher, and she saw me getting jerked off in the back of her classroom. That's a true story. Or so we think. I mean, I don't know. Somebody said, of course, we knew you were getting jerked off in the back of the classroom, but I didn't really think anybody... I think the girl said that, though. So listen, it's neither here nor there. There's too many stories to go over, and I got more fucking notes to get into. And I'm still haven't finished the first note. Thank God we finished the Spetsnaz story. Yeah. What I'm telling you, maybe I'll fledge it out more another day. What I'm telling you, yeah, I didn't like being high because I was right next to my teacher, but I knew I was really high, and then I started, being like, maybe I'll just sit down, it's fine. You guys can go on without me, graduate without me. I'll sit here. I'm good. But that's not how it works. You gotta walk. You gotta do the lap. And they said my name, and I was reluctant, but I went. And I did the lap, and I high-fived people, and I walked around. I wish I could do it again, honestly. I'd do it better. I'd probably yell more things. I'd have more lines prepared to yell at specific people, like, hey, nice purple shirt over there. I yelled some things at people today. I didn't really know what to say to Matthew because Matthew doesn't really, Matthew's very, hello, I'm Matthew. Very, hello, I am Matthew. I am your brother. I will say yes or no to your questions, and you will get no further answers. That's Matthew. So I didn't really have a lot to yell at him, like, hey, what are you doing up there? You should be playing video games in your room. That's what I could have yelled. Or something like, hey, what are you doing up there? Come let Jordan yell at you, Or those are pretty much both of them. Or, hey, what are you doing up there? You should come over to get the gas card to get gas for your car. I mean, where is Matthew driving that he's got to fill up his car with gas all this much? Like, where is he going? What has Matthew been up to? They said he was down the shore. What were you doing down the shore, Matthew? You know better than me, and I know better than you. So tell me, brother to brother, what were you doing down the shore? He went down the shore. I don't know. And I said, oh, you went down the shore for prom weekend, because I totally forgot about the fact that Matthew's is a senior in high school, and they do that sort of thing, So I said to Matthew, I said, hey, you're going to get high later, because he doesn't really do that sort of thing. I said, hey, I got some special cookies for you. I'm getting way ahead of myself in the story. I gotta relax, There's no like bullet points, but like it's like Quentin Tarantino's movies. Some of it's in order, some of it you gotta remember because maybe that could come back around later. And it probably will. yeah, I was high at my graduation, and now I was high at his graduation. And I was at the point where I was starting to freak out at his graduation because I was high. And I'm a professional at this point. Let me tell you, I am a professional. I know how to act in public, But sometimes edibles are that magic carpet ride, and you know that, You take an edible, it's that plunge into that pool of water. You're going underwater, and you don't know what could happen when you go underwater, just like you don't know what could happen when you take an edible. You're taking that leap of faith. You're getting on that airplane, and you're saying, I know you're not going to crash. You are putting your trust in God, You're getting in that car drunk as hell and you're driving. You're putting your trust in God. You said, Jesus, take the wheel. That's what you're doing when you put an edible. When you take an edible. It doesn't matter if you're driving or not. Obviously don't, But it doesn't matter. Because it's going to fuck up your life, If you take that and you're driving that metaphorical car around wherever it may be, and people are going to know that, this guy's not good to drive, You're driving that two-footed car, walking it around. That's exactly what that edible is. You're taking that plunge, and you don't know what could happen. How high will I be? That is the question. But that's always the fun in it, too. It's a roll of the dice. It's a gamble. It's a crapshoot. I got to quit it with all the descriptive words, huh? That's what it is, though. We all know that. And yet, I decided, okay, I'm with my loving father and his beloved wife, Carolyn. And we're at a nice, wonderful school event, my old principal's over there. Is he going to ground me? Am I going to get detention after this? What is going to come of this day, But it was fine. It was fine. I was really high. And I was, it was the worst part, too, because it's like, it's so weird, the graduation, because it's like, when it's that small, it's like not that big. So like, they're like yelling people, they say somebody's name, like, John Claude Van Damme, and people are like, oh, and then they're saying people like, Patrick Bateman, and people are like, like you could tell, like, people are going around and they're like, Lizzie McGuire, and people are like, wow, that's my daughter, and they're like, Derek, batting second, shortstop for the Yankees, number 2, Derek Cheetah. And people are like, suck my dick, rub my nipples, that you get it. So people are, like there's varying, levels of yelling going on based upon the person, the people, the purple people eaters. There's varying levels and degrees of yelling. So Matthew's going to go around, and it's the only people that know Matthew that are here. It's only your family. People aren't yelling for friends. There's no friend yelling. There's only direct family yelling, going on in this. And that's the ground rules that they laid out. So those are the ground rules that I'm abiding by. And like I said, I didn't even say anything. That's just one of those things that I like to say. Yeah, as I've said before, Wow. Half an hour in is always where I'm like, shit. It's a lot. It's mental fatigue is setting in. And I'm like, can I throw this over to somebody else? Every time at half an hour. Also, I can't finish a story for the life of me. I love to start a story, but I don't like to finish shit. But anyway, Anyway, I'm going to hit my pen 6 times directly into the mic. Ooh, it's getting smoky out here. It's getting steamy and it's getting hot and it's getting smoky, baby. But yeah, like we were all yelling. And so yeah, it was the 4 of us who were yelling. Well, I was like, okay, and it's me, Jordan, Carolyn, Dad, and then Mom's up in the front. Motherfucking saved 3 seats, but Jordan wouldn't sit with her. And I'm sitting in the back with Dad. Because, I came with him, so, and that would be rude. And also, it's just like old days when we were at church. And nobody wants to sit with Mom in the front. Everybody wants to sit with Dad in the back. Because Dad's more fun. That's always how it is, Sorry, Mom. It's a joke. It's a joke. You're a more loving mother, okay? But yeah, it was a wonderful ceremony. What I'm saying is, what I am saying for the 8th time is that by the time they got to like Matthew's name, I'm starting to get a little high. I'm like, when are they going to call his name? What am I going to yell? He comes around. They say his name, and they're not doing it in alphabetical order, so it's like I don't even know when they are. I can't even mentally prepare for it because it could happen at around any turn. And of course, there's 17 Matthews, so they're like, Matthew. I'm like, ah. They're like, Jameson. I'm like, Matthew, Sedong. I'm like, oh. They're like, Klaus. I'm like, oh no. They say, Klaus HinderShnitzel. I say, everybody get down. Klaus HinderShnitzel is here to bomb us. Klaus, we are not Ukraine. Leave us alone. But that man won't stop. He won't quit. He's relentless. Which you gotta give him. You gotta give him that at least. He's got that tenacity and that fighting heart, and he won't give up. But anyway, it'll take me 6 years, maybe even 7 to get through this one little story. And the whole podcast has only been about one main story. And now there's a little singing in it. But yeah, so he goes around and they say his name finally. And I'm like, yeah, Matthew, like an idiot, but I had to, I was just upset, like I said, I wanted something funnier maybe to yell, like a joke or something. I wanted I was hoping maybe Jordan would yell so that after I yelled the first time, the second time I could come out with a go Giants, like a, yeah, Matthew, like, go Giants, baby, some shit like that. But, and then he came around and then I kind of, was like, hey, I'm taking a pic. What's up, Matthew? I'm taking a picture of you, and I just walk over, took a picture, terrible picture. Because at this point, I could do that, and I could commit to it. But then in the moment, all those people look at you and I'm like, so I just took one picture, Every day you work on your confidence, okay? It's a work in progress. One day you yell things, the next day maybe you take a good picture, To do both is to ask for a lot, And I really only want to ask for a little, And then Oliver Twist is going to ask for, please, can I have some more? And then Klaus HinderShnitzel is going to say, bomb them all, and steal their money, and rape their women. And that's Klaus. That's not me, okay? So don't fucking look at me like I just said that. That's not me. That's not me. These are real conversations I've had with the man, with Klaus, and real conversations, okay? So, that's neither here nor there. Get back on track with it. Don't be faltering and wavering out here. But yeah. Oh, but maybe Oh, don't do me like that, Johnny. Oh, Johnny, don't do me like that. But all's well that ends well. I'm really, we took the picture. We walked around. It was great. We didn't have seats. We showed up early, but we didn't have seats. So we sat on the bleachers, but, father has a bad back, so that's not good, But we were in, the coaches, we were on, the sideline, some weird bleacher that was, by itself, basically, with no back to it. Or there was a back to it, but it was just, by itself, so it wasn't, connected to, a row of seating. So we all got up at one point or another, walked around, and then sat back down. Jordan had to stand the whole time because he's an idiot, and that's what he has to do. Okay? You crash 8 cars, you got to stand up at the reception at Matthew's First Holy Communion. And wow, this really has just been a talk shit about my entire family podcast. They're great people, though. Okay? You got to be honest with yourself. I mean, I'm a POS, too. A POS station, a piece of shit, is piece of shit. Yeah, exactly. Okay. The Apple I'm right there too. Okay. All these things describe me as well. I'm just, but that's rude of me, really. But it was great. It was honestly great. I think it was a fun family experience for all. And that's the last time we'll be there. And at that school, well, for now, I said that out loud to Dad, and he goes, yeah, until your kids graduate. And I mean, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know if they'll graduate here. And he's like, well, it's happened before. And all I'm thinking is, well, are you leaving me the house? Is that what you're saying? Because that's what it sounds like. I mean, I'm ain't going to buy another house in Mountainside. They're all leaving anyway. Next year, I'm going to be the only one in New Jersey. Me and Jordan, he's going to be living in a cardboard box on the side of the road. But Matthew's going to Florida. Mom's going to Florida. Dad and Carolyn need to spend more time in Florida to get their time to be there for more than, the proper time. Whatever you want to do with that. If you know what that means, then maybe you know what that means. But I'm not going to explain that anymore. It's neither here nor there. What I'm getting at is they're not going to be here. Nobody's going to be in New Jersey except for me. It's just going to be me in New Jersey. And that's going to be wild. I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. Excuse me. Who did that? I know I wanted these to be kind of shorter, but I wrote down a bunch of notes and I only went through one of them. I mean, there's really not much else to say here. I mean, that was the podcast, okay? Some other fun facts of the week. This guy was talking about, he's like, yeah, all these people looking at their phones. He's in the gym and the sauna. I love the gym and the sauna conversations. So this weird guy that I always see in there with his pecker out, he's this weird guy. He always wears red shorts and a white t-shirt. And he always has his pecker out, and he's just this old guy that is just terrible. I mean, let's be honest. Most old guys at the gym are annoying. Most people at the gym to me are annoying, and I don't know why. The gym bros, for the most part, are really cool. I really do have no problem with most gym bros because most gym bros are pretty respectful. We might kind of flex at each other and do shit like that, awkwardly be like, oh, just a couple grunting noises. But for the most part, most of those guys are pretty cool, and know what's going on and aren't, right dickheads. It's the old people that are dickheads, And these fucking people, man, they were fucking just... I don't know what they were doing. Oh, this guy was in the sauna, and The sauna, I think, must release something that makes you bold and daring. Like, it must do something to your brain that just, like, you're like, yeah, I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say, you know? And there's a lot of things that get talked about in there that I'll honestly never repeat on this podcast because some of it is just really wild. And while it's entertaining, it's kind of not appropriate for me to discuss. But I'll discuss some of it anyway. This guy, there's a lot of complaining that goes on. I came in on the conversation. One guy was preaching to everybody, which is always what ends up happening. Some guy starts preaching to everybody. And it's great because then these guys will like talk to whoever walks in. Like somebody will walk in just minding their own business, just being like, oh, I've never been to this gym before. Let me go in the sauna. And then all of a sudden, this dude will be like, and now pretend that you guys are serial rapists from Saudi Arabia. You raped a blonde chick and he raped a brunette. But, you're Saudi Arabia. You did that for God. He'll just do like an example. But you don't even know this man. He just walked in. And I'm sitting there like, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. And he's like, yeah. So anyway, Saudi Arabia, and then back in the day, the Europeans, and the Moors, right? The Moors. They were and he'll just go. And it's great. And the guy's a really nice guy. I really do like him. But like then he'll just like throw anybody. This guy will come in. He's like, well, okay, so say he's a merchant and you're an artisan. And I'm like, oh, okay, I could be an artisan. And then he's like, and he's a king. And I'm like, that kind of fit. This guy looks like a businessman. This is the oldest guy. So he's this is the oldest guy. And he's he could be the king. And then me, I'm cool with being an artisan, I like to do a little arts and crafts. I could art it up. I could craft it up. I could artisan it up, But yeah, so one guy's preaching to everybody. He's just like, and it wasn't, and he's just like, and that's how people should be these days. And I'm just like, okay, great. What is going on here today? And there's like 5 people there, and I got to stand and look at what's going on. And then, this dude, this old, white dude who's always got his pecker out with the red shorts, be standing on the shelf. And I'm like, well, if you're going to stand on the shelf, come stand on the ground so I can sit on the shelf. I want to sit. And you just standing on the shelf like a right dickhead, It's fucked up. The behavior in there is fucked up. But hello, darkness, my own. But then he's just like going on about like, oh, this guy said he's on his last. And this guy said he's on his last set. Meanwhile, he's looking at his phone for 10 minutes. And there's goddamn pedophiles out here. And I barely was listening to what he said, but he just like started saying, and there's goddamn pedophiles out here and God knows what. And I'm like, oh no, dude. I hadn't talked or said anything up until this point. I just came in, some of these guys recognize me. They know who I am. All of us, for the most part, recognize each other because we all go there all the time. Some people are new, but for the most part, it's like, because you always have those like transient people that are like here today, gone tomorrow, But for the most part, it's a core group of people that are always there, So I recognize some people, but that was the first thing I said. I'm like, oh no, dude, pedophiles out here. I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, man, there's pedophiles. Like, what are you, we're just like, he's like, people on their phones, and then boom, pedophiles. And I'm like, shit, what is this guy doing? This guy's buying into all this shit. You know who's worse with their phones? This motherfucker saying this shit. The boomers, 100%. Are so much worse with their phone. This lady at the gym was on the leg machine just on the phone. Yeah, Kathy. Oh, I can't believe that, Kathy. Just sitting there chatting up on her phone. I'm trying to use the machine. Some other dickhead's trying to use the machine. We're all trying to use the machine. There's only one machine. The lady's on the machine. Kathy. I just kept walking by her, staring at her. Just walking by. But I don't know, It's rough out here, man. Got guys got to do what guys got to do, And, yeah, that guy just started talking about pedophiles and shit, and that was wild to me. But I just feel like the older generation is worse than their phone, and they love to be like, you young people suck with your phone. Well, you're the one who's listening to all this shit they're talking on the internet, and you're like, oh, yeah, man, there's pedophiles and shit. Shut the hell up, bro. I mean, honestly. I mean, what, you want to come in here and now you're just like, he's just like, and then I'm trying to, this guy goes, oh, your tattoo's cool. And I'm like, oh, I'll talk to you. I love talking to people when I'm in the sauna. I don't bring my headphones in. I do try to do a little meditation and like breath work. But for the most part, I just like chat with people to pass the time, The thing is, you can't listen to headphones because there'll be a conversation going on. And then you're like, oh man, I can't. Because then there's no way you could listen to headphones and then also people be talking or some shit. You can't wear headphones when there's people talking in that tight of a space. It doesn't work. You don't listen to what you either you'll flip-flop. You'll start listening to them, you'll something will happen. They're moving around, they're in front of you. So I just don't bring headphones and I just talk to whoever's in there cuz it's nice to pass the time. So he goes, "Oh yeah, your tattoo's nice." So I start talking to him. And then this guy gives me the story of the donkey and the tiger. And he gave me a long version of it. But it is a good story. And it's what I will end this on today. Because it was a very interesting story. The tiger and the donkey. Tiger says, the donkey says to the tiger, "Tiger, isn't it beautiful that the sky is orange?" And the tiger says, "What the hell are you talking about, donkey? The sky is blue, motherfucker." And in my version, they curse at each other. So they argue about it, and then the lion shows up, and the tiger's like, "Come on, lion. The sky's blue. Tell the donkey that the sky is blue, so this goddamn donkey, And then the donkey's like, "Come on, man, the sky's orange." So whatever, the lion, for some reason, this story's fucked up, actually, now that I think about it, because the lion could still have the tiger's back and then just tell the donkey that he's an idiot, and that's really what should happen. But in this story, the tiger decides to be like, "Oh no, donkey, you are right, the sky is orange." And then he turns to the tiger and he says, "Tiger, why are you arguing with a donkey?" Which means, don't argue with people about stupid shit. I get that. I got that. Don't argue with an idiot, a jackass, a donkey over stupid shit, the color of the sky. It's blue. Everybody knows it's blue. If the donkey wants to think it's orange, there's no sense in arguing with him, which is a valid fucking point. But are you telling me the lion, in this story, the king rather, or the ruler, decides to be like, "Oh no, donkey, you're right," and scold the tiger? That's another part of that story that I didn't even pick up on until I'm repeating it out loud to myself right now. That's fucked up. Why does the story go like that? Why doesn't the lion be like, "Donkey, you're wrong, fix your way of thinking. Tiger is right"? Instead, we're rewarding bad behavior out here, letting idiots be idiots. We are rewarding bad behavior, letting motherfucking idiots be idiots. We're letting Klaus HinderShnitzel bomb the Ukraine. And for what? Biden, he's on the news today. He's saying, "Shit, man, it's gonna get worse. We better start saving up for more vaccines and more pandemics." I mean, God. Cut us some slack. Cut us a deal out here. Let's quit this. I'm done. we all just got COVID and nobody even cared. That was the best part. We're letting these idiots be idiots out here, man. We're letting the lion tell the donkey, oh, you're right. Then the donkey gonna go tell a bunch of sheep, oh, this is how it is. And the sheep are gonna be like, okay. That's it.